Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to session 7 of Alandressa. Can you believe it's nearly been 2 months now? This is crazy. Well, what we've got today is we've got a lovely trip in the sewers. And in the sewers with me tonight are Mars, Tats, Katie, Shen, B, and Stee. How are all of you doing today? Hey, Ed, welcome in.
Take a nap.
I'm good.
You want a
I'm
nap?
alright.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
I
of
wish I
that.
did
nap
that.
after
Oh, you just had a nap?
Otherwise, good.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
I love napping.
Shall we have a little bit of a recap, shall we?
Please.
Yes.
Okie
Still
dokie.
not get into it.
Well, in session 6 last week, we had a little bit of a party split. Because Victor went to spoke to Victor's old friend from the orphanage, Areli, who just happened to be in the area of a murder. Or was she the perpetrator? Who's to say? But while talking to Victor,
She won't talk to me.
with the feature that you have as your character background, you were able to persuade the guard to let you in for a little couple minutes of discussion. And during that discussion, Aurelie was very aloof, described much things that don't really pertain to anything in particular, and you were left sort of bereft of knowledge or wisdom and went back on your way. During which time, the rest of your party, in dire need of a perception check, decided not to do that and instead finagle with a solid steel iron, iron grate is more iron than steel, but a solid iron grate that led to a sewer. They tried acid, they tried melt, they tried bash the thing with axe handle, and everything was sort of successful to a point, but the main one that really did it was the acid, and then Isabel just plain lifting the thing and ripping it off its hinges. That was a very successful check, we could say. However, once you had succeeded in dismantling this grate, you then found that the key was underneath the counter that you were all stood around, and nobody had bothered to look. Much to Steve's chagrin, that Victor should probably have been there for the moment of opening locked thing. But we found you entering the sewers as you all tested the limits of your cursed magical items, trying to dispose of them down the hole, and finding that they all returned quite quickly back into your pockets. Mars's character Aldrin put on the shoes, the great mythical moccasins, and you managed to charm and becalm a swarm of rats who just wanted you to help with their revolution in the sewers. You threw them some cheese. That's all that they wanted, Tats. That's all that they wanted. But you threw them some cheese, and it lasted all of a second as they swarmed it, and it disappeared in that time. But you then sent a crocodile in their direction so that the crocodile would leave you alone. Thankfully, after 2 failed checks, you managed to succeed on the one. With the crocodile doing a nat 20, a 19, and an 18 in quick succession. You then rounded the corner, went through the archway, and you have found yourself with your old pal, Rumpelstiltskin, where you find yourselves now. Is there anything that any of you want to do in particular? Now that you're face to face with our goblin friend again.
You said he
Run
was.
past him.
I said he was what? Sorry, Steve, you cut off.
You said he was just approaching us like arms open as though we're old friends, right?
Essentially. He heard your echoes around the corner, and to be honest with you, it also had a little bit of exasperation of me being like, why are we taking 5 minutes to walk 5 feet? We should just be fucking walking down the tunnel. So to rush our way towards an end, I just brought Rumpelstiltskin out of his fucking room, because otherwise we were just going to be there all fucking day waiting for everyone to check every inch of ground.
I mean, I don't know what you mean. Ruby was doing an excellent stealth, and then everyone just happened to join in and roll atrociously.
Something that you shared with me again at martial arts training, so it was clearly something on your mind.
Mine's
Oh.
Yeah,
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 yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah. I rolled
Oh,
a
yeah.
24. I was very salty.
Yeah.
Come on.
yeah. Fully. Yeah, you were fully kiboshed by everybody's attempts to copy the cat. Maybe the cat is stealthy after all. You know what I mean?
It's fine. Cats are supposed to be stealthy, and birds not so much. We have to raise the alarm, okay?
Yeah. Maybe Ash was just like, we should be stealthy. Now, we did actually have a little bit of a hiccup last time. Something which Mars reminded me of afterwards. I was completely without spoons last time, and I completely forgot that the Great Mythical Moccasins were applied, and therefore should have been talking. So I will do my absolute best to remind myself on time after time tonight that I need to be talking as Link and Wretch. But we'll figure that out as time goes on. As we start our session now, though, we have Rumpelstiltskin and the gang. That should be the name of your party, shouldn't it? And Rumpel should be the leader.
Well, he is my best friend.
Exactly.
I don't trust it.
Rumpel, shut up, Alexa. Alexa, shut up. Why are you playing Sabrina Carpenter? Who said to play Sabrina Carpenter?
Does
Fucking
Rumpelstiltskin
Jesus.
sound like Sabrina Carpenter?
Apparently. But
That
what
just
part
seems
of that?
personal.
What part of that sounded like fucking Alexa? I don't get it. Anyway, let's move on from Bezos and his bots. And we enter back into this our lovely sewer tunnel. Rumpel heard the echoes down the tunnel, and his yelps of greeting echo back. Hello! It's nice to see you all again.
What are you doing in a sewer?
Say that again, B.
What are you doing in a sewer?
Well, it's generally a good place to hide, especially when you bring up awful, terrible people that I don't want to interact with. But I'm down here now, and how are you all doing?
It smells.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, so, about you being my best friend.
I would like to say so. Of course I am your best friend, and you are mine.
I'm gonna try to say under my breath, I knew it.
Okay. Now I'm going to need you to do a stealth check. Now I'm going to need a stealth check on that one. First check of the evening.
Oh no.
See how well Ash can hide the fact that they want to be oh wow, a nat 20. So nobody heard
I
that.
roll well on
Excuse
stealth.
me. Are you covering your mouth while you say that?
I have a beak.
Yeah, do
Can
we
you read
all-
beaks?
I can lip read, yeah. But you
You
don't
can
have
lip
lips.
read a beak?
You
You
don't
can't
have
lip read a
Yeah,
beak.
you
I don't
have
have
you
lips.
Okay, fair. Accepted. Yep.
Passive perception. Passive perception, Steve. Your focus is on Rumpelstiltskin right now.
Yeah,
Ash is
that's fair,
behind
that's
you.
fair.
You can't lip read someone with the back of your head.
I just can't lip read.
Hey, Twisted, welcome in.
I mean,
I'm
it's a
now
fair
trying
point.
to work out. I'm also trying to work out, does a tabaxi have lips? This is a whole can of
This is a
worms.
rabbit
I
hole
think-
that we could
I
easily
think-
go
Yeah,
down.
I think lip read is just a turn of phrase, right?
Yeah.
I
So,
hope.
as you all greet each other, the echoes go up and down the corridor, the hallway. You feel it return, but you can't. You could swear that you could hear something else as well.
Is it the sound of the crocodile eating the rats?
Give me a perception check if you wish. Whoever wants to.
Yeah, I think I'm being paranoid. Oh, Victor's being paranoid currently
Mhm.
because he doesn't trust this guy. So
Aldrin with the nat 20.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
Wow,
Isabel,
see?
Ash,
Wow.
Ruby, Victor,
my bad.
you struggle to grasp any of it. Briar, you hear that there is a difference in this. It seems like it might be coming from a different direction. Aldrin, on the other hand, you don't necessarily hear the difference, but you do feel it. You feel it.
I freaking hit performance. Hold on.
You feel a rumble. Well, we would take the roll that you gave the first time and just change the modifier. That's what we would do.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
So it would be a 10 plus whatever your modifier is for perception, because I ain't giving you that. You're not rolling it a second time, friend.
16 still, right?
So perception for you would be 6. So yeah, it would be 16. So you would get a 16. You would hear a difference. You would hear that it's coming from a different direction.
Okay.
However, Aldrin, you feel that there is a shifting, almost like, I don't know if you've ever been on a ship or even a raft.
Yep.
But it's like the ground isn't quite strong right now. Like there's a little bit too much sway in it. You feel that there is a rumbling, like
Is the world moving
a
right
tremor?
now, guys?
You see that the rivets in the pipe ahead of you are, some of the looser ones are rattling and shaking, and a couple of them fall loose and plonk into the leavings in this small river here.
I think
And
something's happening.
before long, you feel, everybody feels this now, you feel an enormous trembling and shaking, and the like old sandstone walls of this sewer that have not lived very long and have not stood the test of time for a great deal of that time, you feel them start to crumble and fall, and before long the whole place is entirely destroyed. As you see the buildings from above collapse and fall down onto you, the walls fall apart, and 2 enormous crocodiles come out from the sewage.
Crocodilioma.
You also see that the building you were underneath at this point must have been the inn, the ale keep, the bar, basically the pub.
Oh, no.
As the tables, the commoners, and Friedrich himself fall down, and he splooshes into some. He splooshes into this massive pool of piss and smacks his head on one of the rocks. Oh no, that hurts so much! I can't hit my head like this! And one of the giant crocodiles sees him and immediately wrenches his head clean off of his shoulders.
Oh,
I'm not liking this! I don't think we should be here! These things are going to kill us!
this is not a good situation.
Everybody's gonna be rolling initiative.
Sure.
And
Initials.
I can actually do that for everybody automatically with a single click.
Woohoo.
Boom. Guess who's at the top of the list with a nat 20? It's Friedrich. Friedrich is dead. End of Friedrich's turn. Next in the order is Isabel. Isabel, you are top of the list, first in combat. You see 2 giant crocodiles. You see that the walls around you have crumbled. You see that there is light coming in from above, as you now have the city and the failing light of day is shining down into this place now. The foundations of the building above you have crumbled and have gone into the sewage. Thankfully, all of you managed to miss all of this happening and landing on you, because, quite simply, you were up against the wall of this place. The supporting rock wall, you were up against it. And so you managed to narrowly escape it. But all of this rock and rubble and collapse has fallen nevertheless, and you are surrounded by it. To move through the sewage here will count as difficult terrain. However, the crocodiles will not count it as difficult terrain. They are giant crocodiles. They are difficult. They are deadly. And if you're not clever about this, they will kill all of you. Rumpel is here. Rumpel is also involved in the fight, and so are the commoners. Now, if you choose, then you might be able to get the commoners involved. But that's up to you whether you take an action to try and convince them, and they are commoners after all. Isabel, as you stand, like, waist deep in sewage, you see behind you that there are also 3 guards who have fallen from the partially collapsed mayor's office from above.
Okay.
And the 3 of them are sort of rubbing their heads and temples as they try to figure out exactly what the fuck is going on.
So what's difficult terrain for me to do? It's half my movement or something.
Half your movement. It is difficult.
I don't
Yeah,
know what-
it's half your
Correct,
movement.
that's
Yeah,
correct,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's half
so
your
I'm
movement.
a slower ass than usual. I go to move forward a little bit so
Mhm.
the guards can hear me.
Okay.
Are they here or behind? I don't know.
They are up here. You should be able to see them.
I can't see them.
I
Oh,
don't have
are
them
they-
invisible.
Oh, they're slightly in darkness.
Yeah,
are they?
yeah. Oh, that.
Well,
Oh, they've got a wall around them for some reason. Let me remove that wall. Don't know why that's a wall. Should not be a
Can
wall.
I go
There you
back
go.
to where I was then briefly then? 'Cause
Go for it.
I've
So
honestly
you
thought
were
these-
here.
Okay, so I go up to these guys and say, "Is everybody all right?"
I think so. What the fuck has happened?
I don't know, but we've got a pretty big problem down here. Do you mind giving us a hand?
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay, 1 second.
So they are going to do an insight check and also a perception check. Okay, so this guard is the one that you've been talking to in the lead. His insight fails against your persuasion, so he is persuaded. But his perception is only a 9. So he fails to see what the situation is because he is very far away from the situation. So he's going to need a little bit more than that to understand what he's getting himself into. He's 80 feet away from all of it, and he is basically just a commoner in guard clothing.
Okay,
Welcome in,
so
Lex!
I can convince him to follow me at least, right?
Yeah, you
Understand?
can convince him to follow you. It's going to be difficult terrain for him as well, however. And he also has 30 feet of movement. Now, you've moved 15 feet. Your walking speed, I believe, is... Yeah, it's 30. So you've already
done.
moved the sum total of your movement. You can't go any further.
Okay, so I'll just say, follow me, and when my next turn comes, I come back south.
All right. Okay. So, Guard is going to take that under advisement. It is not Guard's turn yet, however. Now, is there anything else that you want to do with your turn? Like, do you want to go into a rage, for instance?
I don't think it makes sense for me just to go and rage.
I
Oh
think
shit!
that it
crocodiles.
might. I think that it might, unless you want to wait until you're closer to them. The thing is that you might want to do it at some point because it gives you resistance to the damage types that they might be giving.
All right, I'll go for rage then.
So, I mean, you might want to leave it until a future turn so that you're closer to them, because it will undo itself if you don't take damage or give an attack.
Okay, yeah. I'll wait till I'm closer.
Yeah, it's
they're closer,
about
whichever.
strategy and timing, basically.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the crocodiles can move a vast distance, and they're not impeded by this. So they're gonna be moving, shifting along, so to speak. So you've got that. Is there anything else that you want to do as an action or a bonus action?
There's not much I can do.
All right then. We move on. The commoners are next. Now, the commoners, I will say, they have an AC of 10. They have 4 HP each, and they all have a club. Now, the club is only going to do 1d4 of damage, and they've got two giant crocodiles in front of them, and they've also just seen Friedrich's head get wrenched off his shoulders. So, I'm going to do a constitution save for each of these in turn, and we're going to see which ones of these will actually stay. Now, they're all going to roll it individually, and we're looking for, I think that the difficulty for this, to not piss themselves into the already florid sewage here and then try to flee, is probably going to be something around 15. Because I don't know about you, but I probably wouldn't be convinced as a commoner to go in a hand-to-hand battle with a crocodile. So the first one gets a 12.
Least of all, not one that big.
The second one gets a 4. And the last gets a 10. So all 3 of these commoners are ready to fucking leave. But they don't really know which way to go. So this guy is going to panic and flee in the direction of this crocodile and go down this way. These guys, and they do have the right movement, that's good. These guys are going to move over this way, however. So they end up, what's that, it's 5, 10, 15, yeah. So they're coming in front of Aldrin, and that's the end of their turn. Whoa, stop. The whole thing's crashed. I've got to, I have to close Foundry because the whole fucking thing just crashed.
Okay.
Oopsie.
Yeah.
It happens.
Apologies, stream, because you would have heard the incredibly rapid fire changing of people in turn order. Let me just go to the BRB screen and I can type in my password without you seeing it. And we're back. Okay. Apologies for that. That was an assault on the ears and the eyes, but we'll move on. Now that the commoners have had their turn, it is now Ash's turn. Ash, what are you up to?
Oh, I am sorry. First of all, I'm gonna fly up. I'm assuming there's room now.
There is room now, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to be in this muck, in this nastiness. So I'm gonna fly up.
Great.
And then I am going to take my starry form archer.
Great
So
stuff.
I have to expend 1 wild shape. So that's my wild shape, and I
Love a
can,
wild shape.
as a bonus action on my subsequent turns, while I'm in starry form, I can make a ranged spell attack hurtling a luminous arrow that targets one creature within 60 feet of me. On a hit, I deal 1d8 plus 4 radiant damage.
Okay. Now, you are capable of flight. You are now flying on the screen. So you can move up to your fly speed. Where would you like to go? I would say that it will take like 10 feet of your movement just to get out of the muck, because it's not like you can do a clean takeoff when you're waist deep in piss. So we would say take the 10 feet off of your movement, and then whatever is left you can then move for this turn. And then after every turn after that, you can just take the full thing.
So I'm going to go right here, and then I'm going to do my ranged spell thing as a bonus action, and I'm going to target this dude right here. So I'm just going to roll to attack.
And we're going to take Friedrich's token off the board, but he is still there. Just to clarify things for a bit.
Cool.
So what attack should I just do? Just a ranged?
Yeah,
I don't have
if
ranged.
you're firing an arrow, then... I mean, if it's an arrow, then it would be ranged, yeah.
I'll just roll for attack, because my weapons are unarmed strike and quarterstaff, but if I'm in
Do you not
starry
have a
form, it
weapon
gives
for
me
this? I mean, it says attack and damage on the thing.
I assume it'd be a spell attack.
In the chat, it says attack damage. So yeah, that makes sense because that's Dex plus proficiency. So it's yeah. So you get an 8. You unfortunately miss. It hits the thick, scaly skin of this crocodile and just pings off completely.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you would like to do? So you've taken 10 feet to get out of the muck and fly upwards. You've then taken another 10 feet to move sideways. You still have how much movement left? You've got 30 left of your fly speed.
No, I'm just gonna stay like by everybody just in case.
Okie doke. Alright, cool. So that's the end of your turn then, I assume?
Yes.
Great. So then we move on in the turn order to Briar. Briar, remember you are in difficult terrain right now, which means that your movement speed is halved while you remain in it. There is some rubble to your south, which Victor and Ruby and Rumpelstiltskin are all stood on. And there are some pipes, which Aldrin is stood on. But currently you are waist deep in piss.
Of course. Okay. So does standing on the rubble count as not being in difficult terrain?
Yeah, I'm arguing that it's stable enough that you can stand on it, because this rubble existed before the whole thing came down. So this has had time to settle over time and find its place, you know?
Okay, I'll just move.
Yeah. So if you move to here, then that would be 10 feet, which would count as 20 feet of your movement. From every point after
Would
that,
Victor
you're at normal.
still be able to like see anything if I'm in front of him though?
I
Be
mean,
blocking him for
you would be blocking the giant crocodile to the right, I would say, but Victor is fully capable of moving 5 feet out to one side.
Yeah, I think I can peek out to do stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'll stand in front of him then if that's.
You're the
not
same
gonna-
size as him, and a humanoid
Okay.
in a 5-foot square doesn't take up that much of the 5-foot square, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
None
gonna...
of us are 5 feet across, whether we think we are or not.
Right. Okay, then I'm gonna cast Channel Divinity Twilight Sanctuary.
Love that.
Use ability, there we go. So at the end of everybody's turn, that would grant 1d6 plus 4 temporary hit points, that individual, or removing a status effect if you basically choose.
Okay.
So that is my action.
Right.
It is a 30-foot radius.
Anyone who's not relogged into Foundry, please do so.
Sorry.
There's still 2 people that have not. But carry on, sorry, Brian.
Yeah, no problem. And then as my bonus action, I'm going to summon my spiritual weapon. And I would like to attack the crocodile on the top.
Great stuff. Great use of magic. Channel Divinity does not count as a spell, so you can do both of these in the same turn. Okay, so you're going to summon your spiritual weapon. Let me get the spiritual weapon out, because we do like a spiritual weapon.
60 feet, so like right at his head, I guess.
Where is the spiritual weapon? Where did I put it? Got
Yes,
so
and
many
my
different
spiritual
folders.
weapon looks like a microscope.
Yeah, I am trying to find where I put it in here. There it is. Yeah, I've just got it as a token so far, so it's just a blank token while I haven't drawn it.
Yeah.
So you can summon it.
fine.
You can summon it how far away? 30 feet, is it? Or
60 feet.
60 feet. So you're going right up against this guy's snout?
Yeah.
Cool. Roll attack.
And then attack. Is a situational bonus, public roll, normal.
No
okay.
problem, Tats. Do what you need to
14
do.
to hit.
14 to hit. That should hit. Yeah, it does hit.
Awesome.
Roll damage,
Alright,
please.
let's roll damage. Normal. Okay, I clicked the damage button in the
Yeah,
chat and it had a pop-up, but then it didn't roll.
Oh, yeah, it did the same for me. That's weird. So it should be 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. Your spellcasting modifier is +4. So let's do 1d8 plus 4. Are you alright doing that, or do you want me to do it?
I got it. Yeah.
You got it? Cool. 10!
There we go.
Juicy amount of damage. Great stuff. I think it's probably because of the like fuck up that the system had. I think it's probably one of the mods that I've added. Tats is just taking a quick stretch break, but we're sort of we're going to continue down the order while we've got time. Next in the turn is
sorry.
Go on.
Last bit of my turn, I will take my temporary hit points.
Take your temporary hit points. Great. So that was what, 1d6 plus 4 again, was it? Or
4, yeah.
Okay. So roll that for me then. While you do that and apply it, we're going to move on to the next person in the turn order, who is Rumpelstiltskin. So let me see what Rumpelstiltskin can do. He is actually quite strong, but he doesn't carry weapons, and he has no need for learning or stocking any kind of combative thing. So he, unfortunately, does not have a great deal of stuff that he can do. But what he is going to do is he is going to, I think, let me see. Do we want to do this yet, or do we want to leave it? Okay, let me just see what his walking speed is. It's 25, so he would only be able to get 10 feet. And then that's there. And then the spell is... It's within 10 feet. Okay, great. So Rumpelstiltskin is going to move over to here. Then he is going to basically teleport away and go next to Aldrin. So Rumpelstiltskin appears on the pipes next to Aldrin, right up here, as he casts Thunderstep. Thunderstep will mean that the crocodile has to do a DC 18 Constitution save, and it gets a nat 1. And the commoner will also have to do a DC 18 Constitution save, and gets a 12, so both of them fail. So Rumpelstiltskin gives 24 damage to this crocodile, and it fucks it up pretty good, but also does 24 damage to this commoner, who immediately is obliterated and just turned into mist. As it is thunder and not lightning, it is force damage of a kind. It's like the pressure wave of sound, and so it just, the sound of moving just obliterates this. You see that a lot more rubble falls from the ceiling above and splooshes into the piss around you, and a little bit more of the city starts to crumble in as well. But yeah, as this enormously loud thing that can be heard for 300 meters away happens, he thundersteps his way out and lands elsewhere. It is now the guards' turns. Now the guards have agreed. Well, one of the guards has agreed to go with Isabel. Does Rumpel want temporary hit points? I think he should probably just take it, right? So let me roll for that. D6 plus 4 is 9. So he takes 9 temporary HP, and he's grateful for it. Thank you, my dear. You, on the other hand, and points at the crocodile, you can get fucked. It's now the guards' turns. One of the guards has listened to Isabel, has agreed to do what it needs to happen, and has certainly heard that thunderstep, and so takes up arms, turns to the rest of the guards, and is going to try and persuade them that these people are worth helping, and that there is a good reason for doing so. He gets an 8 on his persuasion. That guy gets a nat 1. on his insight, and the other one gets a 7 on their insight. So thankfully, this guard has managed to persuade both of his colleagues that this is a good idea, and that they should help these strangers who were just at a crime scene that has now crumbled into the sewers. So, he is going to go straight headfirst into this piss, and only manages to make it 15 feet. This guy makes it 5, and then can spend another 10 getting through this. And then this guy spends 20 to get to here, and then only has 10 left, so he ends up in the water up at this point. So that's as much as they can do without a dash, so they're going to use the rest of their movement to do so. So they end up down here. That is the end of their turn. They've used their action, they can't do any more. It is now Ruby's turn. Ruby, what would you care to do?
Hello. So, question.
Answer.
To be able to use a dart to target a crocodile's eye specifically, what
Yes.
do you prefer in terms of rolls? Would that need to be like a nat 20 for it to be so accurate, or?
Oh, well, so what's the purpose of attacking the eye? Because in 5e, there's not really a
Blinding.
cold shot.
Blinding.
Okay. There's not really a cold shot mechanic in 5e. That's a 3.5 thing. So, I mean, we can say that if you get a high enough roll that you get one of the eyes, but it's still got 2 eyes, and they can sense things through like tremor and stuff. So it's not going to be 100% guaranteed that they are just immediately blinded.
Yeah, that's fair. But I kind of forgot that we're in a lot of urine, so they'd be able to sense that movement.
Yeah.
I'm trying to maintain my distance, Jackal. I got
Right.
very squished last time.
Because you did get very squished, and we remember that fondly. So let's see
Some
what
of us
you can
remember
do.
it fondly.
If you want to throw, I'm speaking
Yes.
for me. If you want to try and throw a dart at a crocodile's eye that's 40 feet away from you, you can absolutely try.
I mean, he's not 40 feet away. I used the ruler. I think he's 20. Oh, the one down the bottom.
This guy's 25. So, well, it would count as 30 because you actually have to reach it. This guy over here is 60.
Okay.
So you got 35 or 60.
Yeah.
35 is close to 40.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out the like proficiency stats on the dart and things to maximize it. And I think
right.
it's 20/60. So
Right.
I can't remember off the top of my head the difference.
So that means that
Is it
you
the
would
type
throw
of
it with
damage?
disadvantage. You would throw it with disadvantage at the range that you're at currently, unless you can make it within 20 feet. Yeah. So,
okay, I'll go within 20 feet, so I'd need to be 10 feet more, which will take me 20 feet of movement.
You would need to be 15 feet more because it's 35 feet away from you. So you've got walking speed of 40.
I've got 50 walking speed. That's not a problem.
50 walking speed.
I've got 40 plus the 10 in cloak.
Do you have you got it from the 10 in cloak? Did you apply that? That should
Yeah.
give you the thing.
Yeah. It should be. I am wearing it, as far as I can tell.
In the game as well, though.
Yeah, I've got it. Oh, it says an unavailable
Not equipped.
effect. I thought I
Not
equipped
equipped.
it.
There you go. Now it's equipped. It's not changed anything.
Thank you if you did that on my behalf.
It's not changed anything.
That's
I
very
will fix it.
Thank you.
Right. Blah, blah, blah,
Regardless,
blah,
shall
blah,
I just
blah.
move myself within 20 feet while you're doing that?
Sure. I do actually have this on Aldrin, so let me just find Aldrin's sheet, and then I can find the thing, and then I know how to do it. Changes. Right. Okay. So this is what I need to do. Fucking hell. This is so fucking complicated. Okay, right. The attribute key is system.attributes.movement.walk.
Shall I throw a dart while you're in the background?
Sure, do it, please. And then it's plus 10. That should be it. Yeah. Okay. That hopefully has done it. It has not.
Thank you.
Well, fuck. Oh, maybe I just unapply it and
We
then
can look at it
reapply
later. We can look at it later.
let's do that. It did nothing. Okay, well, fine. Alright, so you've got the extra 10 feet. So you've used 20 feet of movement to get to where you are currently. That gets you 20 feet more to be able to spend to get back if you want to. But a 17 is not going to hit them in the eye, but it is going to hit them. So
It's going to hit them. That's fine.
It is going to hit them. So you managed to beat the AC. You just need to roll damage now. This one's starting. This one looks a little fucked up from the thunder step. That's certainly helped. Okay, so 6 damage applied to this bad boy. Are you going to move back?
So I've moved 20. So I have 30 feet in total. So I can move.
You can move 15 feet. So you could get to here
15
if you wanted.
feet. I'm trying to work out how tall is the rubble that like Victor and Briar are on.
It's like at water level.
Oh, but is it above water level?
It's piss. It's
like the rubble above the piss level.
The rubble is sturdy, but it's at piss level.
I'm gonna
not above
just
it, it's
walk
at it.
over and
Level with it.
okay, I'll walk to the rubble sort of at piss level.
Okay.
Like that, and that's the end of my turn.
So that's 20 feet to get back. You've actually got this is counted as stable ground, so you could move another 5 feet if you wanted to. I'm gonna give you that offer now. Before I.
Thank you, but
I'm
okay where I am. And do I get? Is it 4 temporary? Is it 1d4 of temporary hit points from Briar?
It's 1d6 plus 4.
1d6 plus 4.
1d6 plus 4.
Yeah. That's a very good ability, I must say.
Jackal, do you have
I did not roll that correctly.
You didn't roll it at all. It's slash R. And then a space. Do I have what, sorry?
Do you have like a effect, a sphere of 30 feet that you could put on the board to just indicate?
I can do, yeah. It's 30 feet out from you. Hang on, I'm going to have to do it away from you and then... God damn it. No, it's that one.
I'm going to cheekily add my 7 hit points in the background.
Sure. That is 30 feet.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Okay,
And
so...
your turn, thank you.
That's great. Now it is Victor's turn.
Okay, so the pipeline is higher up than this crocodile, right?
Yes. The pipeline is sort of like 10 feet up from the water level.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'm assuming it's going to be quite slippery though, right?
You could imagine that. Plus your boots are going to be covered in piss from where you've been stood.
Yeah. Okay, then maybe that's a fucking terrible idea.
You are all going to smell just delicious when this is all finished, by the way.
I'm not happy about that. Okay. So...
We've not even gotten to the crocodile's turns yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I was going to try and get over here and try and get on top of that pipe, but I think it's going to be quite difficult as jumping out of waist-high piss onto a wet pipe. So I will forego that idea. Above the crocodiles, how loose does the rubble look?
It's not that loose. What has fallen basically into the water and below the water line. So whatever you can see around on the surface level, on the sort of stable area, like this rubble, this rubble, this rubble, this is all sort of stable. Because it's piled on top of something else.
That's fine. So I'm going to move up beside Ruby.
Okay.
And then I think because I'm not very close to this crocodile, nor do I want to get much closer, but I suspect he's going to come for us. I'm going to hide here.
Maybe he's just a chill guy. Maybe he's just a chill guy.
I'm going to wait here, and I'm going to hide with a view to stab him if he gets close to my friend.
So, like, prepare an action? Like, ready an action?
Yeah,
and then,
I'd like
then
to
you
hide
can use...
first, if I may.
Right. So yeah, you can use bonus
so
action
I'm going to,
hide if you
squat
want.
down, so I'm, like, shoulder height in piss now, like, with my head kind of behind a rock.
Fair.
Which is gross, but...
So, use your cunning action to do a hide check. Sort of trying to get down into the piss. And let's see what their passive is. They have a passive perception of 10. So he's not currently actively looking for you in particular. So we'll say that one's successful. You successfully hide down into the piss. What does that look like?
I'm getting to his chin. Nothing more than that. I was thinking like to eye level and like really getting in there.
Like Schwarzenegger in Predator.
Yeah, basically. And he's kind of like getting his head like blending in with the rocks because he's quite like pale of skin for an orc. So I think he's just trying to kind of blend in with the rocks.
That's fair.
But
That's
he
fair.
draws from his waist. He's going to draw his rapier, ready to stab.
Mars, have you logged back in again? Because it doesn't look like you have on my end. Mars?
I don't even...
Mars? Hello, Mars. Are you there? Okay. I don't want to take Mars's turn for them, so we will defer Aldrin's turn in the turn order until after, like, whenever they're back and they can take it.
I shall also roll my temporary hit.
Yes, 1d6 plus 4. It's /R and then a space and then 1d6 plus 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Mars, if you're still not back, then we're going to move on and we're going to go for the next person in the order, which is the giant crocodile.
Let's go.
It's now the giant crocodile's turn. Yes. Oh no, Mars, please come back quick. It's now the giant crocodile's turns. Now they have an intelligence score of 2. So they're not particularly bright creatures. They don't know for instance, they don't know to go for the person with the most strategic advantage and take out the person who, for instance, is giving everybody temporary hit points. So what they're going to do instead is they're going to target the people who have caused the most damage to them. Well, this guy over on the right doesn't know who did the most damage to him because at the moment he's got a microscope in front of his face and that's all that he knows. This guy, though, has just had a dart thrown at him by Ruby. So he's going to swim through the piss. Now, the giant crocodiles have got a swim speed of 50. So they can move real fucking quick through this water, y'all. And they're going to do so. Now, this guy is going to climb on top of this pipe and move along to here. Because they also have a very high walking speed, I believe. They've got a 30-foot walking speed and a 50-foot swim speed. So he swims up towards the pipe, leaps out, and then lands here on pipe next to Rumpel. He is going to take a chunk out of Rumpel if he can. And he tries. They each have multi-attack. They can each take a bite and a tail swipe. So, this guy is going to go first, and then we're going to resolve Victor's prepared action. So we've got bite and we've got tail. So, bite attack against Rumpel gets a dirty 21. You might not believe this, but Rumpelstiltskin's armor class is not 21. It is in actual fact less than that.
So he casts shield.
He does cast shield, but it's still not enough. It's still so much not enough to do anything about this. But yes, he will cast shield as a reaction. So his AC will go up by 5. However, he's still 5 shy. So the crocodile fully gives him a bite for 11 damage. So that's real fucking bad. However, it also takes a swing with its tail. And now swinging against an AC of 16, it misses with a roll of 11. So it does not, thankfully, take Rumpel off of the pipe. Now the other one, down here, now we're at a point where Victor can start swinging. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna hit him. You were talking to me then, sorry, right?
Yeah, Victor.
Cool. Okay, so I will stab at him with my rapier.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be at advantage because I'm hidden, right?
Yes,
Correct.
you are.
Cool.
You are hidden. It's gone for Ruby. It's not gone to find you, and you have hit it for its AC. However, that was not an advantaged roll. I don't think. Oh no, it was an advantaged roll.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, because I've just seen it 2d20 kh. Okay, yeah. So you got a 1 and a 9 and still managed to beat it.
Gross.
So you hit it for 15. Now you can do damage plus your sneak attack.
Yes. Bear with me a second. I apologize. Damage plus
11 damage plus
sneak attack.
plus 5. 2d6 only got you 5, unfortunately, but it's still something. Victor, you can tell at this point that this crocodile in front of you is starting to show signs of injury, but is still very much in this fight, and is going to take a chunk out of Ruby if it can, because Ruby was the one that threw the dart at its face. So it's going to go for a bite, and it's going to go for a tail, because it can do both. So the bite attack gets a dirty 26, and the tail attack gets a 13. Now your AC is 14,
13
so
doesn't hit.
thankfully, yeah, the tail attack doesn't hit. But you would not want it to anyway, because the tail attack is nasty. You would either be
It's as
thrown
if I didn't
or
read
knocked
one of my
prone.
traits. It's great. I mean, as if I did read one of my traits properly, or monk features, and I thought I could dodge these attacks, and then I realised it was on my turn I can, so I made a mistake.
Oh, well. I mean,
Silly me.
it would only knock you prone, and it would just be half of your movement to stand up again if it did hit, but it would also cause damage is the thing. So, you know.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, I think it's the twice damage as a squishy monk. That's my problem.
Right,
But anyway,
yeah.
what bite damage are you going to do to me, man?
What bite damage am I going to do to you? Let's find out together. So it does 18 damage to you. This thing grabs hold of one of your legs and starts rolling and doing the roll that it does, and just starts shredding your leg where it can. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's called a death roll.
I know that. I don't know if anybody else knows that. But yeah, so it's called it grabs you and does a death roll essentially. But yeah, it does 18 points worth of death roll. So you can remove your temp HP and then take off whatever
it's gone
extra
down,
you've got. Great.
It's gone down.
So that's the end of the round. Now, before we move on to the next round, I do just want to make sure. Mars, are you back? Hello, Mars. Hello, Mars. Hello, Mars.
If you're mute, you might be muted if you're talking.
We can't hear you, and you're not moving, and you're not logged into the game. I don't want to use Aldrin and fuck Aldrin up inadvertently by doing so, and you get angry at me. So I think we'll probably just move on and just not count
Mars has
Aldrin
not
as a
replied
combatant.
in the Discord either, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to count Aldrin as being not present of mind enough to fight, but also not present of person enough to be fought. So Aldrin will just be a non-entity.
Maybe Aldrin is just having a conversation with his shoes.
This is probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably right. So yeah, of course. So Link, of course. Well, of course, I think that we should probably move away from this. Whereas Wretch chimes in,
no, absolutely not. We need to stay and fight.
and the two of them just continue in this discourse for a long time, where Aldrin is trying to calm them down and really not succeeding. So we get to the top of the order again. Now, Isabel, you are still in piss, and you've not engaged in combat yet. Would you care to?
I'll do my damnedest.
You can climb onto the pipe at this point, which would just be 10 feet to get there, and then you would have 20 feet of movement left. It would only take you 15 feet to get
Sorry,
alongside Rumpel.
sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
It would only take you 15 feet to get alongside Rumpel, so you could actually get close enough to this crocodile to start attacking.
Okay, I'm gonna rage first, just to before I
Good stuff.
forget. How do I engage rage? Do I just press it?
Yeah. So the icon next to it. It should just
There we go.
propagate. There you go.
I'm
So
raging.
yeah. So you now can move up next to Rumpel if that's your that's your goal.
Yep.
And take whatever attacks you want to take.
I'm gonna Hulk smash.
Do it.
Okay.
I'm excited for this.
Just a normal
You
roll, isn't it?
Smack it with your great
Oh.
axe. Just give me
I've got-
an attack roll, please. That's a 13 to hit. Now, I will also say that you did walk into this. You walked into this aura of Briar's. Now, Briar, does it count if they walk into the aura, or do they have to start their turn there?
Let's see here. Let me read it real quick. It says specifically ends your turn in the sphere.
Okay. So when they end their turn on the sphere, they get
I'm not in the sphere.
temporary HP. You're not inside of it. So what you could do,
Yeah.
because you took 15 feet to get to here, you've got 5 feet of movement left at the
Wouldn't
end
I
of this turn, but you would take an attack of opportunity if you moved back. So it's up to
Nah.
you whether you want to risk taking a bite attack for the sake of temp HP, or if you want to just stay where you are.
Yeah,
But-
I'll risk it for a biscuit.
Okie dokie. Well, but the great axe does not hit, unfortunately. You swipe
okay.
into this giant thing, but its thick, leathery carapace covered in scales is just too much for your axe to be able to pierce right now, and your axe just lodges in there and can't go any further. Would you care to move away from the crocodile then?
No, I'll stay where I am. I don't want to take an opportunity.
Okie dokie. In that case, it's now the commoners again. And the commoners are just going to fucking book it. They just want out. And they are going to move as fast as they can in the other direction. So they go sort of in the direction of the crime scene, I guess, because it's just the nearest opening that they can climb up the rubble of. So this guy gets that far, and this guy gets that far. And that's all that the commoners are going to do, because they were not convinced enough to fight, and they'll probably die if they do. Now, it is now Ash's turn. For some reason, it skipped Ash in the order on the screen, but that's okay. Ash, what would you care to do?
I am gonna do a spell. Hold on.
Alright, I'm holding.
I'm just pulling up my list.
Love that.
I am going to do Guiding Bolt
Alright then.
on the crocodile that I tried to attack before.
Guiding Bolt, go right ahead. With the Guiding Bolt, you hit for 15. That definitely hits. Now, give me damage. Great stuff. We'll apply that damage. The thing takes it, and you've still got movement. Would you care to do anything with that?
It says as a bonus action, I can try to do that other thing again with the starry form, right?
Yeah, you can try it.
All right, let me just scroll back up to it. It's probably easier to do it that way.
So it still burns another one of your wild shapes, though, right? Or is it that
No,
it casts
it
it
says
once
as
and
a
you can
bonus
continue to try?
action. Yeah, so
Okay. So you've basically taken your starry form and you can retry it every time.
yes, because starry form lasts for 2 hours unless I get knocked out of it.
Great. So do another ranged attack then. Nat 20. That's brilliant. So now when you roll damage, you'll click critical. That was crit, yeah. Okay. And is it this guy that you're doing it at?
Yes, it is.
Okie dokie. So we apply the damage to that guy. He's still looking okay. He's still looking quite vital,
Oh, no.
quite well.
How do I add my bonus HP since I'm in the sphere?
So it's basically just roll 1d6 plus 4. And then we add that to the blue section on your sheet. Yeah, there you go. So just click into the blue section next to your regular HP and type in the 8. And that's essentially how it works. It also, what do you call it? Temporary HP does not stack. So in a future turn, if you get more temporary HP, then it's up to you whether you replace your current temporary HP at that point with the new number, or whether you keep what you already have. It's up to you whether you change it.
Okay.
So that's how
real
that
quick,
works. Yeah.
Can I fly up a little bit more just to try to be out of snapping distance, hopefully?
To remain in this sphere, you would need to be no more than 30 feet away from Briar. So if you can do that, then you're welcome to. But you need to be within that circle when you end your turn.
Yes, I'm going to be up as far as I can, but still within the sphere.
Fine. So shall we say 25 feet at what point you're at now?
Yes. So
Okay,
I am up 25 feet from the water.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And now I'm going to end my turn.
That's great. Now it's Briar's turn. Briar, what are you doing?
First, I'm gonna unmute myself.
That's a great start. I love it when people are here.
Right. I am going to cast Moonbeam.
Great. Love a moonbeam.
Oh, what was that? Oh, cool. It automatically gave me a token thing.
Yeah, you can.
And I'm gonna...
If you use scroll wheel, it changes what direction it's pointing in as well.
Okay. I'm gonna put it right
if it's
on...
ever, if it's ever like a line, but this is a a beam. Okay, so you're just beaming this guy's head.
Yeah.
Okay, is this concentration or anything like that?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep.
And I don't believe that spiritual weapon is concentration, is it?
Nope.
No, great. So then the spiritual weapon stays where it is. You can still move it though if you wish.
Yes.
So that would be a bonus action to move it, and then you can attack with it. And then the moonbeam is just a regular action to cast. So we're going to do our Constitution saving throw, and he gets a nat 20.
So that would be, I believe, 0 damage, right? If he succeeds.
How was that a nat 20? That was not a nat 20. It was a 12, but it's still highlighting green for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, I guess because it beat the 14. But yeah, so it got a 15 anyway. But it beats the 14, so now you get the damage part of that. If you care to roll damage.
Does he still take damage? On a failed set.
Does it take damage? Oh, well, that's a good point.
Half damage on a successful.
Yeah, half damage on the fail. On a succeeded rather. So yeah, if you roll damage. So, half rounded down. That should just take 7 off. It does. Great. That's wonderful that it actually calculates it for you and you don't need to do anything. You just click on half. Okay, great. And then you're moving this up, I assume? Your spiritual weapon?
Yes, for my bonus action, I'm going to move my spiritual weapon.
Where would you care to move it to? That's actually
right
in
there?
the token space. It actually occupies up to here because it's a 5x5.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So this is still counted as next to it. So it's just a large honking kind of a thing. So yeah, roll another attack.
Okay.
You might have to scroll back up the list to see it.
Yeah, 1 second. Sorry.
All right.
Just gotta roll up here and roll to attack.
Yeah. That definitely hits. Now roll damage, please.
Oh, I gotta scroll up for that too, huh?
You do.
Okay. Where's the damage button? Normal.
It is.
And it did not roll. Again.
Okay.
So that
I don't know why
let
that's
me
not
look.
working.
Yeah.
Just something in
1d8
the
plus
code,
4.
maybe. Yeah.
All right. There we go. 7.
So 7 damage. So we just take 7 off this guy. Okay, so did we take the last one off him? Or did it not hit? I don't know if it hit. I don't know if it hit.
did hit. I don't remember if you did or not.
Okay. Well, we'll move on. So we've got enough on our plates at the moment. Okay. So that is him now starting to look quite fucking bloodied. He looks quite injured. It is now Rumpelstiltskin's turn. And Rumpelstiltskin, well, I mean, he's still just got the magic that he's got. So I guess, let's see. Okay, yeah, okay. So, Rumpel is going to cast Infestation on this thing. And it's going to need to roll against a DC 18 Constitution saving throw. And it gets a nat 1. So it is going to take the damage. And the damage is... It's only 3. But it does have all of this, like... It's got like an appearance of mites and these creatures on it. And so it starts to sort of freak out, this like sort of dumb crocodile. And we roll to see what direction it goes in. It's a 3 on a d4. Which north, I think, is 1, which would mean that this goes 5 feet south. So it's going to go south down this way and sort of start slipping and fall off of the pipe, I would argue, because it's wet and it's on the side of a pipe. So it just splooshes down fully into the water. Now, it didn't choose to move that direction, which means that, unfortunately, Isabel, you don't get an attack of opportunity. It's also not left your range, because the corner of it is actually, like, right here. So, it's unfortunate, but, you know, it's moved a little bit. I'm going to have to just move it up here anyway, so I can move this out of the way. Otherwise, I won't be able to grab it. So, yeah, that is Rumpel's turn. Rumpel's not going to move from where he is. He's going to stand where he is at the moment. And we move on to the guards' turns. The guards can start to move, but they're probably going to need to dash as well. And I think that's what they're going to do. So because they have a 30-foot movement speed each, that means that they're all basically just going to go 30 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So they are now down to here. And yes, Victor, if you're counting it, they are going to count as allies. But they have taken their action and their movement, so they cannot do anything else at this point. We now move on to Ruby's turn. Ruby, what are you doing?
Hello. So I'll try and be as quick as I can, because I'm going to try and get this crocodile prone. So I'm going to come in with a plus.
Oh.
I think that was
That's
a
a
natural
nat
20.
20. That is a juicy nat 20.
Let's go.
For critical damage.
We love that.
Critical hit, right? I'm not being
Right
daft.
between the eyes.
Also proficiency. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'm dumb. Okay. So that's 11 damage on the crit,
Yeah.
and we apply that. This thing's starting to look a little bit fucked up.
Cool.
Now you've
Cool, so
still
I-
got bonus action and movement.
Yeah. I've planned it out, don't you worry. So I'm going to spend 1 key point, then do Flurry of Blows, where after my
love
attack
that.
action, I can spend a key to make 2 unarmed strikes. So I'm going
Okay.
Get
to...
it.
So bear with. Oh, sugar.
Unfortunately,
That's
that does
one of
not
them,
hit.
though.
Yeah, you get 2, don't you?
Yeah.
I get 2, don't I?
I mean, it.
Yep.
I mean, it kind of makes up for the crit. It sort of balances out. Doesn't it? And not much better.
Okay, never
So a
mind.
10 and an 11
So-
doesn't beat its AC. Alexa, shut up.
Yeah.
Again,
So I
what
do
part of that
have-
sounded like fucking Alexa? Oh,
bit-
fucking
A
hell.
bit of piss in its
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was hoping I could have landed at least one of those so I could do open hand technique and knock the crocodile prone. You know what?
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm gonna see. I can't.
I am
I've used my
curious
bonus
what a
action.
prone crocodile would look like, though.
Oh,
like-
it's belly up, right?
I mean, I guess.
Belly up.
I guess, yeah. I guess.
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
it's-
if I'm doing unarmed strikes
Yeah.
and I'm right by its face, what
Yeah.
I imagine is that I just uppercut it so hard on the chin,
Yeah.
crocodile chin, that it turtles it upside down.
So
Anyway,
So I'm sort
can't
of
disengage.
because I'm a gamer, right? I think that many others are. My immediate thought went to that. What is an abnormal position for a crocodile to be in? Oh, definitely like vertically upright. That would be wrong for it. That would be prone to a crocodile because its normal plane of existence is flat. So it's like I'm imagining like a glitching out crocodile sprite that's just like upend on its ass. But
It's just vibrating all over the place while it's half on the floor.
Exactly.
Just
Well, whatever,
balance
you know,
the
whatever
balance.
floats your boat. So you've still got movement. What do you care to
I
do?
have movement if I want to give it attack of opportunity, and
You
I ain't
do?
doing that.
Okay.
I'm afraid. I don't want to risk another attack for it to then attack me very shortly. I am going to sad times, stay still, and hopefully gain some hit points back. And that's my turn.
Okay. So at the end of your turn, you can roll again to get your d6 plus 4. So you can add those to your temp
I'll add-
HP. And it is now Victor's turn.
Okay.
So you are next to, you're flanking with this creature, but you are no longer hidden because you came out of hiding to do your attack. So you've got your sneak attack, but you don't attack with advantage. What would you care to do now?
I'm still gonna just try and, as Ruby didn't abandon me, I shall not abandon them.
Absolutely, we love that.
So
Come on, it's.
I'm gonna.
This party becomes more and more like a family every day, and I love it.
Okay.
With a 16,
I
you
believe it's a
definitely
hit.
hit.
So I swing my sword. Normal damage, and then. Sorry, it keeps popping up windows when I hover over things. It's very frustrating. Okay, cool. So
Okay,
that's
great.
18 total.
That's
And
very
then
good. That's very good.
as
This thing is
he-
starting to look very bloodied, by the way.
Cool. So as he slashes his sword into this one, he like
It's 100%
swells
the
his
crocodiles we punched on.
offhand around and flings like a ghostly beam at the other crocodile. It's within 30 feet, right?
Yes.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool,
it's 25
which
feet
is
away.
my
Well, actually, no, it is
ability
exactly 30
Wales
away
from the
from you.
grave. Okay, cool. That's
So,
that's 30
yeah.
foot range. So
Well, it's 25, actually. Yes, it's
Wales from the
25.
grave. Use ability. So that the
Great stuff.
crocodile I'm attacking and the other crocodile both take 3 more damage.
Both take 3. That's great. So,
Yes.
this crocodile does take another 3, which reduces it down even further. It is now on death's door, the one directly in front of you and Ruby.
Cool.
We now move on again to Aldrin's turn. We call out to the spirits beyond. Mars, are you there? Knock once for yes and twice for no.
I think maybe Mars fell asleep.
I think so as well. Mars has a habit of falling asleep. That's fine. We love them for it. We're going to move on though to the crocodiles. As I say, we're just discounting Aldrin from this fight. They're locked in discussion. No, really. I think that we should probably move north. I mean, it's the only way out. Why won't you listen to me, and why won't we just move?
I don't want to move that way. I think that it's better that we stay and fight. Why won't you listen to me?
And so Link and Wretch continue their discourse. And we go back to the crocodiles. Now, this crocodile is dumb, but it's not dumb enough to ignore the fact that Victor has just dealt an incredible amount of damage to it and was the most recent one to attack. So it's going to turn its attention from Ruby to Victor, and is going to attack with both the bite and the tail attack. So we're going to go for the bite first, and it gets an 18. And we're going to go for the tail, and it gets a 13. Do either of one of those hit?
The bite hit.
The bite hits. The bite hits.
Yes.
So that gives us 21 damage. 21 piercing damage. So
fuck me. Okay,
that
cool.
takes a sizable chunk out of you. And again, it is a grab of the leg and a death roll, as this thing just snarls and as it rumbles around and spins in the piss. Oh, hey up. I'm trying to click off it, not drag it. So that's that. However, the other crocodile is now going to turn and try and attack Rumpel again. And is going to do so by climbing back up onto the pipe and try and take a chunk out of our friend Rumpel. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to do a bite and a tail. Now the bite attack goes for 24, and Rumpel will again try and cast shield, and again will fail at blocking anything. But we are going to try for the tail, and gets a 15, which does get blocked by shield, thankfully. So we've now got to just do our bite damage, which is 16 damage. And Rumpel is starting to look a little bit hurt, but not by much. Rumpel is also inside of the radius, so is going to do the roll and gets 7 temp HP. So Rumpel is feeling a little bit better after taking that chunk of bite. Because I think I forgot to do it earlier. Or did I? Did I? I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. I tell you what, because it doesn't matter, and because I don't remember, we're going to remove it, because I should have remembered at the end of his turn, and if I didn't, well, that's on me. So that is both of the crocodiles' turns.
Don't you kill my bestie.
It is... I mean, listen, he's level 16. You're probably okay. He's probably not going to die right now. So you can, I think you can rest easy. He's a magic user that has access to 3rd level spells. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Without getting too much into the mechanics of it, he's part sorcerer, part rogue. So yeah, he's pretty good. He's just never had the need to attack people before. So most of his spells are all about subterfuge and hiding and stealing, because that's what, you know, that's what rogue shop owners do. Now,
where do you count the crocodiles as people?
Do we what?
You said Rumpelstiltskin's never had to fight people before. I enjoy that you count these crocodiles as people.
Well, what I'm saying is that these two, his need for training in the art of destruction damage with magic has never needed to happen, because he's never had to fight anybody, which is why he's not prepared to fight these crocodiles now.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, I'm just being a little bit facetious, that's all.
Well, I was not saying that these are people, but if you want to count these crocodiles as people, then you are certainly welcome to. Now, Isabel, it is back up to your turn. We're in round 3 of this combat. You've had your rage going for just 1 turn. You've still got 9 turns left of it. What are we doing?
Doesn't something happen of rage if I don't get attacked?
No, because you took an attack, so you have to take the attack action or receive damage, and you tried to take an attack action, but you failed it. It still counts.
Okay, so as long as acting on my part or their part.
You took the attack action. That's the important part.
I could still attack him from here, right? This one.
Yeah. You're within range. He's well in front of you.
Okay, giving him a clobbering again.
Awesome.
As you do.
Thank you for that one, Twisted. That's going to be added to a future session, I think. Or maybe today, who knows. But I'll make note of Wiggles. Okay, you definitely hit. Please roll damage. 10 damage.
Is that plus my rage?
That has not applied your rage, I don't think. Doesn't look like it has.
So if I'm correct, that's 12 damage.
Yeah, it should be another 2. So I'll just take an extra 2 off. Which is great. Yeah, so you managed to do that. Yeah, because it was 6 plus 4. Is plus 4 your strength?
Yep.
Modifier? Then we're great. Then it's all gravy. You've managed to do it, and we just remember to add the 2. So yeah, there's your damage. You've done your action. You've still got a bonus action and movement. Is there anything that you want to do at this point, or are you staying put?
There's not much I can do except snarl at it with my rage.
Fair point. Fair point. So with your rage, you give this thing an intimidation roll. Give me an intimidation roll. Let's see how well you can intimidate a giant crocodile.
Quite well, I think.
19! 19's pretty good. I think that a 19 is pretty good for a crocodile. Like, this crocodile sort of flinches at you, like, doing this. You've brought your great axe down on its skull. It's taken a decent chunk of its health off. Literally a large chunk of flesh has just sort of fallen from its maw. And you then snarl at the thing loudly. It wasn't prepared for this
I think it's more surprise. I'm still
exactly. A person small of stature to just suddenly swipe out with a fucking great axe and take a chunk of its mouth off. It wasn't prepared for that, and now it's terrified of you. But thankfully for you, it's not attacking you at the moment. It's going for Rumpel. Now, if that's the end of your turn, then we go for the commoners. Now, the commoners have got enough speed between them that they can both manage to dash their way onto the shore and up into the rafters. They disappear off the board. That's great for us. It now turns to Ash. Ash, you are still sort of 25 feet up above Briar. You're still within the sphere. You've still got 2 crocodiles here. One of them's looking more messed up than the other, but they're both looking pretty messed up. Your best friend Rumpel has just been attacked, though. This one below looks worse.
Oh no, I need to attack the same one because they just went after Rumpel. How dare they? He's my best friend.
That's why I mentioned it. That's why I mentioned it. I brought it up because I knew you'd want to.
I am gonna do guiding bolts again.
Love that.
Since it worked so well last time.
We love that. Guide your bolt to its head, I guess. With a 12, unfortunately, it misses.
Okay, fine then. I'm just gonna do my previous...
You're so shaken by this friend of yours being attacked by a giant crocodile that you just can't bring yourself to guide it in the right direction.
He's only my bestie because he said, like, he kicked me out, so...
Yeah, man. And you attack with your archer form. That definitely hits. A 21 is definitely going to land. Now...
Alright, try and roll damage. I gotta scroll all the way up, though, each time.
Okie dokie. I am wondering what the range on that is exactly.
What, the starry form? It's, I think it was 60 feet. Let me double check.
It's just 60, isn't it? It's not 60 slash something. It's just 60. So then it's fine. Okay, so you do 11 damage to this guy. He is now looking equally messed up. Oh, pardon me. It is now Briar's turn. Now, Briar, does your moonbeam continue to cause damage?
Yes, it does.
Should we roll that first?
Yes. Let me scroll all the way up.
Does it need to make another Constitution save because it already succeeded one?
Huh. That is a good question.
Moonbeam. A silver beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. Until the spell ends, dim light fills the cylinder. When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, it is engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain, and it must make a Constitution saving throw. So it should have done this on its turn anyway. It takes 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Blah, 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 blah. On each of your turns after you cast this spell, you can use an action to move the beam up to 60 feet in any direction. So it's basically whenever it starts its turn there, it needs to make another roll. So we're going to make another roll.
Yeah.
Because why not? It should have done it on its turn anyway. Let's just do it now. Blah, 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 blah. Let me just scroll all the way up. Blah, 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 There's so many of these. Okay, there we go. So, yes, we're going to do the DC 14 con save. It got a nat 1, so it's going to take the full damage. And I'm going to have to scroll all the way back up again.
Yeah, I'm scrolling right now.
And damage.
I scrolled too far.
Damage of 6.
Okay.
Okay, this thing is looking supremely fucked up. Now, you've still got your spiritual weapon available.
Weapon.
Which you can move if you
And
wish.
that would be my bonus action to move it.
Yes, because you didn't move the moonbeam.
uh,
You can use the bonus
right.
action to move either of them.
Actually, the moonbeam would be a regular action to move it, and the
Oh, is it?
spiritual is a bonus action.
Oh, okay. Stand corrected. So you move the thing up. Now give me an attack roll.
Oh, I think I froze.
Oh dear.
I moved it, but now there's like 4 of it on the screen.
So you moved it at the same time that I did, that's why. So just refresh your screen.
Oh, okay.
This happens sometimes when you move it at the same time that I move it, because if you're not moving it, then I get impatient to move it for you.
Gotcha, sorry. Alright, so let's...
oh dear, that's a nat 1 and that does
looks
not
like
hit.
No.
Okay, so you've done... you've moved this with your bonus action. You've not taken an action yet this turn, though.
Okay, correct.
Because the moonbeam was concentration. Now, you've not moved anywhere, and you've still got an action, and you've got this guy in front of you. You might be able to move up there and do a melee attack if you wanted to.
I believe I can... Can I use a cantrip if I'm concentrating?
So long as
Correct,
it's
right?
an action and it's not a concentration spell.
Okay,
It can't,
yeah.
So if you use concentration, you drop whatever was previously concentrating on. That's how that
Okay,
works.
so I will, in that case, I will cast Toll the Dead on Crocodile. Let me...
Okay.
Why are my cantrips not loaded? Okay.
That's a good question.
I'm gonna have to roll
I mean,
it
I've
from...
got it. I've got it here. I could just bring it up for you. There you go. Did that show you in the chat or not?
It did not.
There you go. How's
Oh,
that?
there we go. Yes, it did.
It's because I've got it
Okay.
set to blind roll. Okay. So yeah, you can. We do the wisdom saving throw, I assume.
Yep.
So a creature you can see
on
within
this
range, and it's
crocodile.
60-foot range. So you want to do it on this one?
Yes, please.
Okie dokie. It gets a nat 1. You can roll damage. Okay. Now, as you toll the dead, you point at one creature, and the sound of a dolorous bell fills the air
Oh, wait a
around it for a
second.
moment. Yeah.
I don't... Okay, what did it roll?
It rolled 3
It
damage.
becomes a d12 if the target is missing any of its hit points.
Okay. I mean, do you want to re-roll the damage?
I guess so, because it rolled automatically, so I don't know what it...
It
The
doesn't tell
one-
me. It doesn't say what it rolled.
Yeah.
It just says that it rolled a 3.
Is there any modifier on that, or it's just a straight d12?
Well, we can figure this out in future because I will just explain. This thing has got 1 HP. It doesn't matter what
okay.
you roll,
Well.
it's dead. So I'm
Yeah,
just
there we go.
reading out what the description of the spell is so that we can describe its death, basically. So yeah, you point at one creature you see within range. So you reach out your hand and point at this thing, and this dolorous bell fills the air, and you all feel this resonance as the bell of the dead essentially tolls for this creature. And Isabel, you see this like very viscerally, but the rest of you do also see that the sort of resonance of this bell sound just completely implodes this skull in on itself, and it falls and lands in the water completely dead. It is just fully gone now. That is the end of your turn. Do you have anything else that you wish to do? You still have movement. And you would
No,
not be
I'm gonna
taking an
stay
attack
put.
of opportunity. Okay, that's fine then. We now go to Rumpelstiltskin. Now Rumpel has had some use, I guess, with using Thunderstep, but doesn't really know whether, like, there's not really much else to do with this. Apart from just sort of move in the direction and then Thunderstep away again. So the only thing he can really do is Infestation, so he's just going to do that again. So this thing is going to take a Constitution save of 18 and gets it's not a nat 1, it's just highlighting it red whenever it fails for whatever reason. That's a shame. I actually quite like seeing the red when it's a nat 1. Well, unfortunately for us, it's not a nat 1, but it does still fail. So it's going to take some damage, and that damage is 4. It gets covered in these ticks and mites that start to swarm inside of its mouth and bite it on the fleshy parts, the soft parts of the inside of its mouth. And it's not like it's on the leathery, scaly outside where it just doesn't give a fuck. This is all gums and teeth and tongue and, you know, all of the awful soft bits that you just would not want an infestation in. And although it's a tiny amount of damage, it's still enough for it to flinch and start, you know, thrashing. And so it looks so very fucked up. It is now the guard's turn. Now, this guard who has just walked up has finally arrived, is going to... yeah, it's horrible. This guy is going to lash out with a spear. Is going to roll and gets a 5, so it misses. Now, he's not going to be particularly happy with that, but he's going to move around up here so that he can help the other guards get in on it. So this other guard walks up. He's going to attack with a spear, and he's also going to miss. So then he moves up and moves out of the way. And finally, the last guy comes in and tries to attack again with a spear, and does finally hit. Now he's going to do his damage, and can you believe it? After all this fucking time, with all of the damage that Victor and Ruby have put into this crocodile, this guard is the one that does the killing blow. And as he does, the spear pierces in through the eye, of all places, just with a lucky shot. And this guard takes it down by exactly the 3 HP that it had left. And he turns and cheers to the rest of his guard troop and is like, I fucking did it! I killed the thing! Oh my god! I'm so good! Did you see that? Oh, aye, that was fantastic. I can't believe that you did that. Oh, wow. You're very good. We need to tell everybody about this. I can't believe it. Wow.
Ruby wants to interject and try and persuade and be like, guys, you've just come here. It is me and Victor who have done this. Don't you dare spread rumors about yourselves. You spread rumors about us.
Give me an intimidation roll.
Oh, here we go.
As part
I mean,
of
I'm
that,
very
can I
successful at
assist?
these in the past.
You can assist,
Can I
yeah.
assist
So
by
give me an intimidation
by
roll
showing
with
the
advantage.
teeth marks in my thigh from where the crocodile bit me.
Give me an intimidation roll with advantage.
With advantage. Hang on.
An 18.
How
That
is it
went
a
from a
5?
5 to an 18. We love that. And this guy's insight rolls a 5. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I got the killing blow, you know.
Yeah, you got the killing blow. But if you push someone over the edge after they stood on there themselves, don't you take the credit.
Sorry.
That crocodile was on the edge.
Are you saying that I
We
shouldn't
got in
push
there.
people off of cliffs?
Well,
I mean,
no.
I've never said that's a good idea. Not
So
unless
what are
they've
you
asked
talking
me
about?
first.
Should I be
What do you
worried
mean
about
what I'm
you?
talking about? Leave me and my metaphors alone. Just because it was a metaphor you didn't understand doesn't mean it's bad. And I'm just going to gesture again
Wait.
to the matching wounds that mean
Wait! I remember you! You were all at the crime scene!
I'm not
Where
the
Sir
tobacco or
Curly
the-
was dead! I think that this has got more to do with you than it does with those crocodiles. It's no coincidence that the crime scene has just collapsed around us. And you were
Ruby
there.
is going to Ruby is going to go straight for this guard, grab him by the throat, and pin him against the wall, and be like, "If you try and accuse us of anything more, I will get you to the edge, just like I did with that crocodile."
As you do this, everybody give me a perception check.
Yay!
Anyone who wants
All of us.
to, I
Oh
guess.
my god.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, bunch of you spot that Rumpelstiltskin takes this moment of hostility as his exit and casts Dimension Door and fucks right off.
So much for my best friend. Gosh.
Just leaves, does not like this confrontation. But Ruby walking up to this guard and pinning him against the wall, I'm assuming he's there. So you pin him up against this wall. The other guards are going to try and intervene. You've succeeded intimidating this guy. We're going to see whether the other guys can beat your 18 roll from a moment ago. So this guy rolls a 6, and they've all got the same stats, so I'll just roll for the same guy again. Again, a 6. So they're all fucking terrified of you. So I mean, look, it's right that you should be angry when it comes to accusations, but we're not the only guards in this city. And we will be telling our bosses about this. The crime scene has just been washed into the sewer, and you're stood dead center inside of it. And you were at the crime scene where someone important has just been murdered. You don't think that perhaps that's a little suspicious?
We were below the crime scene. We were looking for our friend Rumpelstiltskin, who has just left.
And where is he exactly?
He's just left again. He's very elusive.
He's buggered off. That's what he's done.
He keeps doing this. We end up in sewers searching for him, and here we are again. And then all of these houses just fell right on top of us.
Sure. Then where are all of your wounds from fallen debris? Not a single one of you's
Whatever
got
about
a head
our
wound.
wounds, regardless of our wounds, I would have you remember who it was who apprehended the murderer of Sir Curly. So you come here and accuse us of something we have done, when all of us right now are covered in piss. And how do your guard friends think if we go around telling everyone in town about the piss guards, who can't even apprehend a murderer at a crime scene?
Give me one more
Oh
intimidation
my God.
roll, and I'll give it to you again with advantage.
With advantage, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a 10. This guy
Yes.
rolls an 18. And he starts to brush himself down and looks up and down at his body and sees all of the piss. Well, look, I'm a guard. It's kind of my job to get dirty and get in with the muck of the city. And right now, you're covered in more piss than I am, if not the same.
Can I summon a version of the crocodile to scare them away?
You can give it a go, yeah. At the moment, they're pinned
Alright.
against the wall, so I mean, it's not like they can immediately run if Ruby's holding them there.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a fucking huge bit of text there. Okay, so you are summoning
I'm
the
sorry.
giant crocodile.
Yeah, just like right here, close to this guy.
In range. Corporeal form uses the bestial spirit stat block. Does it say what the abilities are of which creatures you can create? It says that it's a small
It just says
beast.
it magnifies an unoccupied space within range,
Okay.
and I can choose whether it's air, land, or water. It resembles an animal of my choice.
Okay. So it does also say a small beast. And
Yeah,
a size
that's fine,
small
but-
beast is like a 2.5 foot square. So this thing is actually tiny.
Now from before
So
instead.
you've made a tiny crocodile. So let me just see. So that hang on, that's the artwork.
Look, I'm just
Let me
trying to scare
configure.
them into agreeing
Fuck's sake.
that they're gonna leave us alone, okay?
How am I supposed to change this? It won't let me change any part of it, so I guess I'm just going to put it here because it's not an editable creature. We're just going to accept that this thing is tiny. So it's 2.5 feet long, so it occupies a quarter of the square that you're stood in, and you do it there to intimidate the guy. Now, are we going to use the crocodile's stats to intimidate, or are we going to use yours?
The crocodiles, I think it was. Let me check.
Okay. Well, it's got a
says-
stat block there that you.
Yeah, armor class is 11 plus the level of my spell, which was a 2nd level, so it's 13.
Okay, so it is a charisma, and it actually has the same stat block as what is on your sheet. So we can do intimidation, and it rolled a 1. So
Son of
this tiny little thing, it actually got a 4 on the die, but with a charisma of -3. Unfortunately, yes, you do end up with a not very charismatic, not very intimidating tiny crocodile. So you've made a small lizard and placed it in the piss next to these guys. And one of them sort of looks at it and like gets a little bit irritated by it and goes to kick for it and just like sort of knock it back. Get the fuck away! Why's there lizards down here? Fucking hell. Look. Whether you agree with us or not, they'll notice if we're gone for too long. And you may have noticed as well that just a few minutes ago, a whole fucking city just fell into the sewer. Do you not think that guards will be coming here very quickly? If you're pinning us against walls, I don't imagine it's going to go very well for you, miss. Sorry, what was your name?
Crimson. It's Crimson.
Okay, give me a deception check.
No problemo.
I'm going to say that he's getting the help action from the others. So for one, he gets an insight check to see whether you're lying. He can do that with advantage because of the other guys helping. Wow.
Never mind.
Oh no.
Never mind.
Wow. So yeah, he got an 8 and a 6. So he didn't roll particularly well. But he sees through the ruse and looks at you dead in the eye and says, Crimson. Crimson was it?
I'm gonna try to double down on this and be like, hey, Crimson.
He's gonna roll history with advantage from the other guys because they're gonna help him remembering what the name Crimson is from. They've recognized that it's a lie. They're all now searching their brains to see exactly who Crimson is, see if they can remember that name. This is a fantasy world, y'all. People don't share a lot of names with each other because there's not 8 billion people in there. And as you can see, they got a nat 20.
No.
Oh shit.
Oh no! What did I
Crimson.
do?
He crosses his arms, stands up straight, and just brushes you away from him now, no longer intimidated by you pushing him against the wall. Crimson, is it? It's not the usual fluid that you're familiar with, is it? Piss! I think that
quite sure what you
perhaps we
mean.
need to get you down into the jail. I think this is probably a moment for you to think exactly about who you are so you can tell us for true your actual name and what your business is in Dreidel. He starts shouting out loudly. I'm not going to do it on the microphone so I don't spoil everybody's ears, but he shouts out loudly that to everybody, all the guards in the area who are now stood around the lip of this place and looking down at all of you from above. You see all of the guards in Dreidel have basically just run here, and you've got tons of them all surrounding the place. Now I'm going to leave it up to you.
Crimson, what have
Do you go willingly, or do you fight your way out of this?
I'm gonna try and step in. I think.
You're gonna what? You're gonna like
I'm gonna
start try and stand between them, are you?
to intervene. Yes, I'm gonna attempt to intervene. I'm gonna, gentlemen, I think there's been a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding my ass. Misunderstanding is something that you do unknowingly. This person, whoever she is, just told us a brazen lie. Told us exactly that she is not who she says she is. That is not something that you accidentally stumble into. You know who you are.
Do you know
Guards!
to-
Guards! We need help down here! They all start finding their way down the slope and into the hole so that they can confront all of you.
I want to use guidance to help with the next thing somebody says.
Do you
Okay.
not think that when assailed by town guards, people perhaps lose their cool and say things out of turn? I've been to your jail. I'm an investigator from another town. I was sent here on other business, and now we're tangled up in all of this business. I don't think you have the facilities to arrest all of us. Please let us help.
So you can add a D4 to this, but I would say that you are rolling at disadvantage. So you're going to roll your persuasion check, and then you're going to add a D4 to whatever you roll.
Oh my god.
That's unfortunately a nat 1. You're going to add a
Yeah,
D4 to that.
Yeah.
So the nat 1 became a 4. We add a D4 to see exactly how well this goes. Or poorly. And you add a 3. That is a 7.
It's really bad still.
So this guard is going to roll insight into what you're trying to persuade him with. And again, we're going to go with advantage because he's not on the back foot anymore. He's standing upright. He's holding himself with some more, strength and might about him. And he's looking around at the room and starting to see that more and more of his colleagues and co-workers are with him too. So he's going to roll this at advantage. And that becomes a 17. With 10 clear points difference of your score, he is 100% ignoring you, not even paying you a little bit of heed or even respect, to be frank. Just blankly refuses to acknowledge your existence beyond the point that you need to be brought in for questioning. He starts yelling out to the room. Go on. What were you saying?
Ruby has realised she's royally messed up, but not just messed up for herself, she's messed up for her friends, and she is quite regretful of that. And as soon as she thinks of the phrase friends, she internally goes, I need your help, my friend.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
snap.
okay. All right.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
What?
Give me a... We're going to do a roll for this. We're going to do a roll for this. And I'm going to try and figure out exactly what roll this is. Let's see what it would be. I'm going to say that this would be... Because it's sort of... You're reaching out in almost prayer, that this is going to be a religion roll. Now, you got a +0 to this. So this
Yeah,
is going
cool.
to be difficult to pull off because I'm
Yep,
gonna
that's
I'm gonna
fair.
set a DC in my mind. You can roll with advantage, but you are still rolling against a high number. So I'm gonna need you to. I've also realised that these walls are in the way again because of the stupid person that built this map.
I've rolled. It's just a 2 and a 9, so never mind.
A 2 and a 9, unfortunately, does not get you what you need. You do sort of what do you do to reach out in this? When you reach out mentally, are you like closing your eyes? Are you bringing your hands together? Is there any sort of posture or pose or thing that you're doing with your body that looks different to any other time?
Yeah, I think it's almost when she's getting into like a bit of a monk sort of concentration.
Yeah.
So think of it as like ready stance. So eyes are sort of
Oh, yeah.
half, they're focused on what's happening very much around her. It's like focusing on vision and hearing for all
Yeah.
the sudden guards, but then
Yeah.
it's like her chest is zoned in
Yeah.
and aware of everything around her. So it's like
Yeah.
that reaching out sort of-
Controlled breathing, focusing on your surroundings,
Yeah.
Did
fists
you
down
say
by your
anything out
side,
loud?
but ready. And you
Oh
said
no,
this
this was
mentally to
in
yourself,
Ruby.
right?
Yes, in Ruby's mind, because that's how in her head she communicates with her friend.
Okay. So Ruby enters into this sort of standing focused meditation almost in this ready stance, which if you're a martial artist, you'll know what that is exactly. Sort of standing upright, legs just slightly apart, and fists ready but down by your side, sort of like in front of you. So you are ready in this position and you think to yourself, or well, you think outwardly, I guess, I could do with your help, friend. And you feel like the connection has been made. You feel like there is something out there that is listening in. You don't feel like they have heeded what you've said, though. And that's all
As
that you
I
feel.
feel that connection,
Yeah.
I will say, and Ruby will think, I will offer you my help.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Deal with the devil now.
We don't stack
I'm sorry, guys.
advantage. We don't stack advantage, so you don't get twice the advantage. So if you've rolled with advantage, you cannot roll again with on the same die. But
That's fine.
we will give you another one of these rolls. This will be a lower DC than what you just had to roll against, but it will be a roll of your choice again. Similarly as when you were down on the
Okay.
ground and you were incapacitated and you were trying to reach out to get some help, this will be that once more. I want you to pick a stat of your choice and roll it. But justify to me why you're rolling that in particular. Don't just go for big number.
Yeah,
Go big.
yeah. Truthfully, my higher stats, I'm not going to suddenly roll an acrobatics check.
Do some sick flips and say, "Hey, how about
Yeah.
that? How about you help me now?"
I think when Ruby was prone, I'm pretty sure she rolled a Constitution saving throw.
She did. I remember it.
But that's only +1. The thing is, if I try and go high, it's all like my physical abilities. It's not stealth, and it's not. Feels like it could be survival. But truthfully, religion feels fair, even though it's +0. I'm not going to try and gamify it. So.
Okay. 14. As you say this inwardly and simultaneously outwardly, you feel deep inside of you and you try and reach a different part of you, a different like element of your being, where before it was constitution and you were trying to steel yourself against what was happening and helping your constitution to aid and guide you by bringing this thing from wherever it is into the world. You close your eyes and center yourself just for a moment, if only for the briefest of blinks, but just enough that nobody else in the surrounding area might notice. And as you focus on these words, I will help you. When you open your eyes again, none of them are stood there. And everybody else, you sort of felt like the air shifted. Like when you look at a hot road and you see the light shimmer and it sort of warps what's there. As people walk through the desert, they similarly see an oasis born of this heat that just rises in vapor and in spots, makes it look like there's water there. It's almost like these people just shifted, like the reflection in a mirror, and were gone. But not the origin of the sound, but the echo is still heard of 12 people, maybe. You can't be sure the exact number. screaming, and then suddenly the echo stops.
Did you say they were screaming?
And that's where we're going to end our session.
Did you say they were screaming?
I
Gone.
don't think he's going to answer that.
Damn.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Ruby, what did you do?
Sorry, I had a panicked moment.
Just before we do go into our sort of post-session talk and cool down and warm down and all of that, I would say that Ruby, you feel now that there is a cold hand on your shoulder, and it feels quite friendly to you.
Yeah, it probably does.
It looks like Victor is just fucking off.
Victor's going home.
I'm taking my dice and leaving.
Magic bullshit.
I love the distance that you've travelled. He's fucking off completely. That's fucking hilarious.
He just sits down and stops.
Yeah. So you hear the echo of screams get cut short, and then you feel the cold hand of something on your shoulder, and that's it. End of session. Thank you, everybody. So we survived some awful fight with 2 giant crocodiles. Rumpelstiltskin fucked completely off, and Aldrin zoned out. You've then had guards essentially be on your case immediately, and in your desperation you have reached out to a being that you don't fully understand and don't understand what its motives are, but now that you have entered a pact with it, it's got your back. So
Yeah.
here we are. How does everybody feel that session went?
Does that explain it for you?
Well, I thought the sewers was taking the piss.
Very good. We did also
I'm
get.
afraid,
Go on.
I'm afraid Ruby had an idea and she went with it without checking with the group.
No.
Ruby maybe using third person. Poor Ruby decided to do that.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's probably gonna be alright. We don't know, though. Yeah.
I fixed the cloak, by the way.
You fixed the cloak, as in it does the extra thing?
Yeah, I've got 50 walking speed, look.
Oh, yeah, I was just going in to fix it. Alright, well, good job.
I do think we need a Scarpo away from here next session. No guarantee all the guards are gone.
Yeah.
I did actually modify.
No,
so you might notice that this is exactly the same.
With very few guards.
You might notice that this is exactly the same map as what was before, but with some modifications. So I made some modifications, but then I also made corresponding modifications to Dreidel City, just in case you did go above ground. There is actually a massive hole where the thing was, and some of the surrounding city walkway has gone, and a little bit of the mayor's office has gone as well. And I also copied and pasted every single one of those NPCs, their tokens, from exactly where they were to exactly where they are now, and that's why all of the people that were still beating up Friedrich Ratzenberger a day later are now falling into the thing today. So yeah, lucky number 7. Everybody has managed to survive death rolls by giant crocodiles, but at what cost? Who's to say? Who's to say? Well, thank you
Ruby's
for
cost.
being
She
here,
didn't
everybody.
share out the bit.
I mean, look, you can, try and talk your way out of this as much as you like, but it's maybe not going to be what you need to figure this shit out, shall we say? Figure this shit out.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, the important thing is that I know what I'm talking about, so we're all right. Okay. Well, I guess we are going to raid out everybody in chat. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here, you guys. That was amazing. I fucking loved that. I can't believe that you just did that. That's fucking crazy. That's also very, very cool. So we're going to go into one of Tats's friends' streams. They're playing Elden
Hey,
Ring.
I was. Wait, who are you raiding?
Thormungandr.
Okay, I was gonna go and raid another friend, but we can go.
Oh,
raid
we can
Thor.
do that. We can do that. I'm just not following that friend. What's the name?
Maddie Braun. I will type
I
it
need
for
you to,
Let me-
yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah, hold on.
That was very sick. That was very sick, and that was very sick. Yeah, I think that maybe a vote might be needed.
Ended.
Also, I've realised that I did not do any predictions for this fight because I was so focused on what the fuck happened at the start that I have not figured out anything else beyond that.
Yeah, he just ended, so never mind. We can go and raid Thor.
Okay, let's do it. Right, well, yeah. So it's Thormungandr playing Elden Ring. We're going to raid. If you do want to stay in the raid, then you do actually get a little bonus channel points. I think you get like 250 channel points or 300 or something. So yeah, you can get a little bonus to make up for the prediction that I did not put in earlier. And then you can use that towards channel point redeems. Like, for instance, we have now had a nice little redeem by one of our viewers for a new NPC name in the future. So look out for the next NPC to be named Wiggles. That's going to be great. So we're really looking forward to that. I hope everybody has a lovely day or night or whatever time zone you're in right now. I will see you in the future. I'll probably be back on Saturday for some more Destiny times. And in the meantime, I hope that you all have a lovely, lovely life. Whatever you're up
Bye,
to.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye,
See y'all next week.
everybody. Bye bye.